Anshi. Hello, how are you all? Welcome to Homelands, produced on CFCR 90.5 FM in Saskatoon, Homelands of the Métis and Treaty 6 territory. This is your favorite Auntie, Andrea Letting Cashew. Call me Auntie Andy if you like. And I'll be your host over this next half hour to hour actually, but of course we'll have a break in the middle. And we have our guests today, David Fineday and his friend Melody, and I'll let them introduce themselves. So, welcome to Homelands.
Howdy,
Hi,
David Fineday, Sweetgrass First Nations, Treaty 6 Territory, Turtle Island. I reside in Saskatoon.
Hi, I'm Melody Bird. I'm from Montreal Lake and I reside in Saskatoon. Hello.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome to
hi.
the show.
Yeah, come here to talk about homelessness, the lack of housing, the lack of services on the street for people, and to try and do advocacy work for them. Um, especially now that it's getting cold, homes need to be found, but now that I hear they have a cold warmth strategy where the police or anybody, even bus drivers, they can dial the number and they can get them picked up off the street and put in a home or in a warm-up shelter or whatever overnight place. So I'm glad they developed something like that. But that, like I said, that's only a Band-Aid solution. If you hear on the news, they talk about that affordable housing, and that gets me so mad. Oh, I don't even know. If there was affordable housing, I wouldn't be homeless at the end of January. I'm on pension and I only get so much, and it takes half of my pension. And if I now I have to move into a care home, and it's going to take three-quarters of my pension. I don't know. Lots of people need help out there. They need care homes, they need special needs places, and nobody can afford them. Let's see, I was looking through a list and the most expensive one on there was 4,200 a month for 1 month. The cheapest was between 12 and $1,500 a month. So they go 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. They go down like that on that list. And I've been phoning them, and many of them are full. Many of them have waiting lists already. So it's really something to try and find a place, especially if you come from the street. Melody, maybe you want to cut in and talk
I'm
about not
um
having IDs and the proper paperwork done and all that.
I'm in a situation myself. I'm trying to do a claim through SGI because I got thrown into a garbage truck last year in it was like October and like right off the back, SGI wanted to help me, and I got like my IDs, I got everything going, I got myself a lawyer, but the problem is I had no place to live, right? So there's no place for me to get a hold of me, for me to start off to even try to make some adjustments to like anything to do with the streets of Saskatoon. Like I'm looking out there today and it doesn't look too warm. It looks like really cold. And I know there's a lot of people still living in encampments out there. And there was a dude out there like last summer, I think last winter. I mean, he was out there like in 50 below weather. He was the only dude out there. But there's still a lot of people living in encampments out there. They're starting their own fires up. And you know what? Like I don't like think they're doing wrong because if you could maintain a fire, um, back in the day, like we were like going back to TP days, is what they're doing. Like we're in third world poverty here. We're starting fires up like we're going back to like, but there's no buffalo there. Just kidding. No, but it's like a sad situation. Even the shelter last night I went to. I was at Larson House and like this woman was like, I don't know, she was like tweaked out all night. I don't know if she was on some kind of drugs or something, but she was like, I couldn't sleep, so I just left at 6:30 this morning, and I was like just walking since 6:30 basically, um, until the friendship inn opened up, and I'm always keeping a lookout for my brother out there because I'm always worried about how he's doing, right? Um, my brother Rocky, and there's only like two of us left, so um, I lost my sister Karina 6 months ago, and her hands turned black, and it was a really sad situation. So I'm just hoping that like, we don't have to see no more dead bodies out there. Like, I'm just praying that everybody stays warm and that people dry loose and like help people out there. If you guys got a house, you could donate a church to donate for us to go to. I'm sure there's a way we can work it out for us to have people there to help us so we can all just chip in somehow. Um, David had like last winter he had like teepee kind of thing,
Camp.
an encampment, yeah,
Yep.
where he had the fire going. He was real black, but at least like it was like something. There was like I don't even know how many of us in there.
Yeah, lots, eh?
I think I don't even know 400 of us went through and
Probably at least, yeah.
And it's just like it was sort of like back in the day, I
A
guess.
big
I don't know.
family.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody took care of everybody. And even
Unfortunately,
a couple of bad guys, I asked them to dumb me up and they wouldn't. And then they were told by everybody else to dumb me up and they left. Because they didn't want to get into trouble.
yeah,
But that's how we always took care of ourselves all the time out there on the street. Just now there's gangsters and that crystal meth and all that out there, and that's what makes it really rough on everybody.
actually, that's what's killing some of the policies. Yeah,
If there was a community center, a hockey team, a ball team, a
should
soccer
have
team,
respect for that.
something to do, something for all these houseless people to do instead of just sit there on the street, make a camp and just sit in their camp. There's absolutely nothing for them to do out there. And City Hall, the city council, all these businesses, corporations, they think they can just make 3,000 people disappear.
Not probably gonna happen.
By March or April, there's gonna be 4,000 people out there. They don't realize what they're doing when they're kicking out people at 18 years of age, when they're bumping them out of the system, when they're getting bumped out of their homes, personal homes where care homes, people coming out of the pens, men's and the women's, out of the correctional centers, same thing, men's and women's, young offenders. Is there statistics on how many people that come out of there? 1,000 every month, 2,000? How many people are bumped out every month? They turn 18. That's one thing they don't have statistics for.
Plus,
I see it out there. We see it out there.
I've been seeing a
Yep.
lot of elders, like 60, 70-year-old elders in care homes, like not care homes, in shelters. Where, you know what, like that shelter they have right now where I'm at, like there's cold air constantly coming through because the doors are getting, and they're like literally like our elders are sitting amongst us. Like that's not normally what I'm not used to seeing is our elders out there, like at least back in the day, we'd always have a place for our elders. Now we're all coinciding together. Like what the frick? It's something I'm not used to seeing at all.
Same thing, there's
There's
the
a genre.
generation gap has gotten younger out there. They're say 15 to 30 now, where it used to be 25 to 40 before. 10 years ago, that was the age group out there. There was a few seniors and there was a few younger kids, but that was the main age group out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's gone way, way younger. A lot of the older people, we've lost them to the weather, to addictions problems, to alcohol problems, chronic illnesses that they've gotten.
Or just doctors being ignorant. You know what? When you lose a limb, apparently the doctors get paid extra money, so they accidentally chop your leg off because, like I've even heard of that, like happening a lot. Like I'm like, why are people getting their legs chopped off for no reason? He's like,
Yeah.
and
There's a lot
yeah,
of
I
things
didn't know
happen
the
out there.
doctors get paid extra for
A lot of
ligaments.
things
Like,
that happen out there that people don't know.
yeah, holy smokes. And that's like a person's legs are taken away, and they have to walk out there. Like, or
One
like,
thing, one thing that I witnessed through Smudge On, we were having a smudge one Saturday, and I would smudge everybody, but how do you say? On a certain time of the month, the women can't smudge with sweetgrass; they have to smudge with sage. And I talked to the whole group, and this one woman jumped up and she just lost it. She freaked right out, crying. No, no, I can't. No, it's not. Oh, she lost it for about 10 minutes. I'd take her to the side and tell her it's not your fault. Because it wasn't her fault she was taken away from her mom and dad.
mm-hmm,
It wasn't her fault that they did that to her.
yeah,
But they made her feel that guilt and that bad that they couldn't take the guilt themselves. They put it on her, and she felt it. I'm telling you, it took me a long time to get her under control, and then to tell her it's not your fault.
mm-hmm,
She went home. I haven't talked to her since then. I haven't seen her again. But I went home with that trauma and thinking, well, there's one woman just like me. When I got 60 scoop, I thought it was only me, and I found a couple more. I didn't realize that there was 30,000 of us.
oh, yeah.
So there's
That's
30,000
horrible.
people out there with trauma, with all of that stuff in them. How can they get them off the street? How can they help them? They should have elders out there, not psychiatrists. Psychiatrists don't know what they've been through. They need elders that have been there, done that, and they're still surviving. It's like me. That's why I go out there and talk to everybody.
And
I'm
more
still
peer
here. I'm
support.
surviving, just like
they-
Melody's too. She's a survivor
Like
too.
volunteers that just basically want to help because they like give up like a house. Like so many people they have like a whole suite and they're not even living in it, and they have like a whole house and there's like 2 3 bedrooms no one's using. Like what the frick is really going on? Like why would you let anybody, if you knew in your right mind? I know there's like rules and responsibilities and stuff like that, but there's only a certain point where you gotta like dry loose and like start letting people like to give people a chance. I named my son Chance Blue Rain, um, just because I wanted God and Creator to give me a chance at life. And he's 18 now, and he's a big boy, but I just want him to remind him about his name. Like you gotta give people a chance.
Hmm?
You never know who you're gonna help, and that person might help your friend down the street or one of your loved ones. You never know. Like it could be that simple as me just walking out the door, and I just happen to help somebody on the street to like push their car, and then that person is actually going to see someone in the hospital that's dying, right? Because they showed up. Maybe they're living, right? Like just something simple as that. It just takes like someone to have a heart, I guess.
A lot of times people get told, get out of here. You don't belong here. What are you doing here? And that's what turns everybody, that's no respect when you say that. As soon as you say that to somebody right away, no respect at all. So people have to change their attitudes too. A lot of these people that are working in these homes, these overnight places, I hate to say it, but they're foreigners. And I've had them come up to me and say, we don't have to listen to you. You're a dumb Indian. What do you do when people come straight up to you and say that? They've never been taught where we came from, what we've been through. They were just seen it on TV. They watched too many John Wayne movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So attitudes have to change like that, not only in Canada, around the world.
I tell them we're Northwest Indians, part
Yeah.
of the Indian Act, like, and
Yeah.
they have it wrong.
I don't know, how can we
We're
go out
not
and
really
educate all these
religious,
people?
but
I
we
went
don't
to the
really
Catholic
believe.
church or the Catholic school division and said, hey, I want to go talk to these kids. I want to tell them that what I know, what I've learned, what I've been through, but I still haven't got a phone call back. And I want to go and I want these kids to be taught at 16 years old. Yeah, you're going to be bumped out of the system in 2 years. Get ready for it.
I know the guys that
Yeah.
are sleeping right now and on at St. Mary's, they just sleep on the bare floor. They have no blankets.
Mhm.
They no nothing. There's how many oldies there, and it's not like necessarily their fault. It's more like it's just running the places just run rapid. Like they need more support, not just people that can't even really speak English, but people
Yeah.
that actually know what's
Exactly.
going on around here, you know? It doesn't help that they bring in foreigners on top of that. Because they're just like trying to, like, they're going through culture shock alone, being around us, and then they throw them in with a bunch of people that are homeless. It's like, it doesn't work out. Like,
That's right. I never thought about it that way. But
yeah, like, it's just like, it's a situation itself right there. And then we're stuck trying to talk to people that don't even understand. It's like,
hmm
um,
exactly.
I don't know, we shouldn't have to teach people like
That's
how
why I
to
always say,
talk and
stay
how
away
to,
toten
I'm not
outreach,
trying to be
Sage
rude or
Clan.
anything.
There's a lot of people out there that want to work on the street, but how do you get a job working on the street? Walking around helping people. They were doing that in this summer. They had a Say Toten outreach, working out on the street, go walking up to everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing? You need help? You need housing? You need some clothes? You need a coat? You need some tea? And people warmed up to them because they weren't ignorant. They knew where you were coming from. And that's why I wish that those programs would expand and come into the community, to every community.
They treat you like a relative.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Well, they are our relatives. Everybody
our
out there is our
relatives,
relatives out there, so we have to treat them like that. Yeah,
The Treaty 6 territory.
yeah. Fair.
Um,
What was I just
I
gonna
didn't know how
say?
to pronounce that territory. Now I know. What does
Yeah.
that mean anyway?
What's that?
That name, territory.
Say Toten?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know.
Hmm.
I just learned that word too. But say Toten, I wouldn't even know. Helping people or something like that.
Or maybe we're all relatives. Something. I don't
I'm
know.
not even
I
sure what it
don't know.
means. I never learned enough Cree to understand that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, there, that's a problem. A lot of these people don't have education. When you go back to your reserve and you don't understand your language, you don't understand the food that you're eating, you get called a little white person, just like I did. And I hated that. So you run away from that. You run away from the reserve and you go to the city, and that's where you end up.
Mhm.
There should be education, fine arts programs, stuff like that, opening up sports programs. There's so much that they could do
You would
if
just
they
have-
had housing and that for everybody. Like Melody, she can't really do nothing because she doesn't have an address, and that's what's her biggest
I
problem
have
is.
my GED and I
Yeah.
have my woman in trade. I have my driver's license.
Mm-hmm. See, people like that, they have stuff that they could use to get a job, but when you don't have an address or you're homeless, what can you do?
Plus, you have to be part of the work program.
Yeah. And you go to work next morning and you didn't have a place to sleep and you got dirty clothes on, you didn't have a chance to wash your
The
face.
work program,
What do
you
you do?
gotta be immigrant, and they don't hire Canadians. They hire immigrants.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different programs that they could put out there for First Nations people. Like I say, when I go to graduations in the springtimes, all those kids, they all know that that's their relatives out there on the street and they all want to help, but how do they get out there to help? The peacekeepers, there's a there's peacekeepers in town, and I heard 6 of them were hired to do the downtown um,
Area.
area. Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
there
that
is
would be a
place
little
to
bit
get
better
lost
because
out there.
they had community support, but they weren't First Nations people, and that's why they didn't really trust them. Like I said, say Toten was out there and they walked up you, they were your family. They didn't tell you, get lost. What are you doing here? What do you want? How can we help you? And that's the whole difference between wanting wanting to accept help from somebody is the attitude. First impression. Yeah. Not get out of here. Oh, okay, see you later. I'm out of here.
What makes me the difference that I could lost, like I could be going to university
Yeah,
or
yeah.
doing something right with my life
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting stuck with it. Feels like I'm somewhat stuck between here and there because I'm still trying to do my claim for growing up in a foster home, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go back to the Missouri because there's nothing for me there, you know. I
Exactly.
just go back to like what they I'd be doing nothing but just waiting for another welfare check from the band. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'd rather be going to school or doing something that's actually productive rather than just
That's
sitting
one of
there
the
and waiting
reasons
for
that I
another
left
day to go by.
Sweetgrass was everybody sat there and waited once a month for checks to come out. And then we get 100 and did I used to get when I was out there 150 to $154 or something like that. And people would wait and they'd be counting down. Oh, 25 days till check day. Oh, 20 days. Oh, 2 weeks till check day. That $150 I could make it in a morning working. So I don't know. I had my education and I went out and I started working and I did good. I
I know
raised a
someone,
family and yeah.
my
But not
friends
everybody
who,
gets that opportunity, what I did.
and my friends pick bottles. I know my one friend, she broke like her hands with freezer burns right from the tips all the way down. Like there's about 3.
Stacy?
Yeah, and then they said some girl was behind 601, and we don't know who that girl was.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And then they found one by the railroad tracks. But then,
It's
you know what? They don't give that information out. STC knew, or Saskatoon Travel Council knew just because they were there on scene. But as for that, city police and like they don't give out that information. They don't tell the media who they find, when they find them, if they're frozen dead or not. Like they just like it's just another day, like for them.
They're hiding it. They don't want me to find out. I've
Mm-hmm.
already
No
told
one
them
told me
if
to
something
find out.
happens, that I'll have another encampment out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Stacy. She came up to me the other day. All her
Mm.
fingertips were just black, both hands now. Yeah. She couldn't even pick up nothing. Couldn't even touch nothing. That's why we need more warm-up shelters. I heard the other day this guy was mentioning about China, where they have shoebox places where there's just a bed and you can go sleep there, and like there's a whole bunch of them, like rows and rows of them, and you can go and sleep. Why can't they make something like that?
Yeah, just rent
Like I
the
said, we were nomadic people and we couldn't stay in one place.
Mm-hmm.
And now being colonized, that nomadic blood still runs in my veins. I know it. When I have to go out and go travel or go for a walk or whatever, they have to realize that that's in our people's blood, and it's been there for thousands of years. We always moved every year, 4 times a year, and now we just sit in one spot between square walls. That's what's confusing to me is why did we have to be colonialized to be like that? Why can't they give us a place by the edge of town where I can go put up my teepee? Like I said, I have a dream I wanna see a 50-foot tall teepee
Mhm.
with a full basement.
Mhm. Yeah.
They said, yeah, teepees don't have full basements, and I said, well, mine's gonna be the first one. So I'm holding Cynthia Block to that because she promised me a teepee when I had my encampment out on 20th Street, and I'm still waiting for it. I also requested to be on a homeless committee or some strategy like that, and to this day I have not got a phone call. I have my Smudge On group, and we are getting bigger now. I was talking to City Hall a couple days ago, and they do have a committee, a homeless committee. There's 7 of them on that committee. I don't see why they don't let me on there. So Smudge On, we meet every Sunday, and I believe we're gonna start a committee, and I would like 7 of us to shadow each of those 7 on that committee to make sure that things are gonna progress forward, not just talk and talk and talk like what's happened. They have so much millions of dollars here and so much millions there. They give it out to Friendship Center, Mustard Seed,
Mm.
what do you call it? What's that on Avenue M there?
Avenue M. Métis.
Yeah, that the company, yeah.
Yeah, comfy.
But
That's
they
the
give them
flyer.
thousands or
Yep.
$500,000,
St.
but
Mary's.
that's only
and then,
Band-Aid solutions.
Behind the,
Yep.
they got the, bus depot now.
Yeah, yeah.
For women's, that is just freezing cold, by the way.
Oh, did you go over there?
Yeah.
I was in there. There's women's in the back. There's 40 women just for women. The bus depot is open and there's room for 120 people in there just to warm up overnight.
Mhm.
Yeah, I seen that. Oh, I
Oh,
couldn't
good.
believe it.
They're
I
building one.
yeah. Why can't they open up 5 more of those?
They're building like a 44-bed place right off of Riversdale there. I mean, right in Riversdale. I mean,
I don't know if that's gonna go.
oh, really?
They've already spent $1.2 million on that and it's still not open.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's going to be open.
Hmm.
I don't know
Wow.
if it's the,
Just hearsay then.
yeah, I don't know, it's all been paid for, but nothing is happening. They said
Mhm.
the building wasn't safe enough to put people in, or something like that. That's what
Wow,
I
like
heard.
the streets are safer. Well, we're at
Yeah.
our first break here at
Yes.
Homelands. So join us. Don't go far from that dial. Don't touch that dial, and we'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to David Fineday and Melody Bird talking about houselessness in Saskatoon.
Right on.
Mhm.
Good one.
Mhm.
Feel better?
Yeah,
Let it out like that and everybody's gonna be hearing this on the radio tomorrow.
Right on. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the others.
And people are already coming up to me, David, I heard your podcast. David, I heard your podcast.
that's awesome.
Well, how many have I done now?
Yeah, quite a few.
6, 8.
No, hey.
Yeah.
Cool.
This will be for the
I bet you
20.
my auntie listens to you too. I know my uncle, he works in the ranch. He's at Muskego.
Mhm.
He's my mom's younger brother. He's in Quakenamagawa is what he does for. He's a radio broadcaster.
Mhm.
Yeah. But he's part of the 60s group too, so he has like a real deadly like white I don't know how to say it, white like it doesn't sound like broken English at all. It's just straight
Mhm.
like he sounds like a white dude.
Right on.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to keep going?
Yeah.
Do the second here?
Okay, what do we talk about now?
Another 27 or so minutes.
Yeah,
I'll introduce you guys and
okay, yeah, I'll talk about what's happening with my place and
Mhm.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Okay.
I know what to talk about.
Okay.
Mhm.
You are back with Homelands with David Fineday and Melody Bird talking about houselessness in the city and that experience and what it's like here. And welcome.
Yes, howdy again. Oh, I'd like to talk about the difficulties going through the system and losing your place. Um, I lived in my place for 3 years, and then they made me sign a 6-month lease. I didn't know I didn't have to sign it. At the end of 4 months, I got a 60-day notice that they weren't renewing my lease. No reason or nothing, just that's it. So I went to Rentalsman, and I made a I went and applied there. No, I don't think I should leave. I don't think I have to leave because there was no reason. The reason I think was because I complained about the status of the building, having no heat, no mailboxes, no buzzers, and that's why they wouldn't renew my lease. So I went to Rentalsman and I put all that down, and I got shot down by Rentalsman. So I didn't know what to do. My lawyer from Classic Law said, yeah, let's go to King's Bench Court, the highest court you can go. So sure, we went there, and I got shot down there too. But the judge let me stay in my place till the end of January. I'm blind and I couldn't read the decisions from both places. And I had it in an envelope, and I went to a meeting last Sunday and my envelope was still sealed. And they wondered, I started talking about, well, problems, what's the difficulties in all of this? So I tossed them this MLA or something. She's from the government. And I said, here, you open it and read it. And she couldn't believe it. She said, can I take these? I think you have a human rights case here. It's not only it's a human right to have a house. It's a treaty right to have a house. So she said that they were breaking my human rights, and she would like to take it to, what is that, a human rights tribune or something like that? And I said, yes. So it has to be brought out, the difficulties. And like I said, I'm the one to bring it out. Come and talk to me. I help out lots of people. I'm an advocate, and they need to know our stories. They need to know why we're out there and why we want to be out there. Some of them don't even want a home. They want to be out in a tent, to have their own life, to have their own freedom, not to have to sit in between four walls. That's the difference between living in a teepee and living in a house. Teepee circles got bigger and bigger. One person, the chief, started out, all of a sudden he's got kids, and then they got kids, and they've got kids, and your teepee circle gets real big. But teepees aren't soundproof. You can hear everything in the whole circle. The teaching, the beating, the women talking, the men talking, couples, whatever. There was no, everybody heard, and if anybody heard problems, they went and helped them, or they went and told the elders, hey, they're having problems, go talk to them. That's what a teepee circle did. You talk to your relatives, your family. Nowadays, after being scooped up and taken away and colonized, I guess you could say, a lot of us have different personalities. I have multiple personalities in me. One's English, one's Scotch, one's, I don't even know, 7-day Adventist or something. Homes where I had to stay, where I had to change my personality in order to get along with that family, or else I ran away. Mm. That's when I started running away. You can't do that. You can't be somebody that you're not. Yeah. And you realize that when you get to be 10, 12, when racism starts to happen. When you're a little kid, it's okay. Oh, look at that little brown guy. Oh, look at that little kid. He's a little kid. But when you get older, that's when the racism cuts in and people start saying stuff to you. So you go back up and you shut up and you don't say nothing and you take all that. Pretty soon out, you come out, you step out with a bad attitude, a different personality. You don't want that personality, but it was forced on you. What can you do? A lot of these people have that multiple personalities out there because they went through the same thing as I did. Huh, I don't know. I'm glad that when I was 17, I went home. Like I say, I'm not an elder. I'm just an old man and I love to smudge and pray. A lot of people fight with that, being an elder or even struggle with something to believe in. They went through all this home, through all this rough stuff, and they've been forced to go to churches and to Sunday schools and all that. And their prayers didn't work, just like mine didn't work when I was in homes. So I went to the street and I went crazy. But then I found smudging and praying. And that's what I bring back to our people.
Mm.
And it really changes lives. And that's what I wish could still keep doing it. Well, I will still keep doing it as long as I can. And I have a young man that's in training, that I have in training, that I'm going to be handing it over to him soon. I don't know when, but he knows what he's doing, and he's been with me for 4 years now out of 5. So
Scapio.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Tyler,
Yeah.
rabbit skin, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good man,
Cool, right on.
and he's been out there on the street. He came from the reserve, just like him too. 18, 20 years old, there was nothing for him to do out there on the reserve. Nothing. So he comes into town and gets into the street stuff. But now he's getting out of it. He come and smudge and he prays. He knows more about smudging and praying than I do. Yeah. He shows me stuff when we're doing that. He's like, yeah, this is it. You should go like this, go like this. He doesn't say do this or get out of here, or he wants to explain it to people. Yeah, and that's the whole difference, is when you can explain it to somebody
Exactly.
instead of raising your voice and getting mad or
Or
something.
discriminating them, or
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to laugh at them, or bully them.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know,
But
persuade
you have
them
to
do
learn
something.
somehow, some way. You have to learn,
Yeah.
and if you don't learn, then you're in a rough time, just like I was before I started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to be willing to teach people.
Oh yeah, and I was
whatever
gonna say
way,
we're gonna have a
tell 'em
smudge
like-
walk on Saturday, December 20th at 12 o'clock from Avenue P and 20th Street to Avenue K and 20th Street. Food Not Bombs will be there with a big pot of soup. Bridge
Oh.
City Warmth was gonna be there with donations of winter clothes. STC Outreach is gonna be there with hot chocolate. And the Sage Clan will be there with donations of mitts and hats and socks and stuff like that. So everybody's welcome to come in and come and pray for all these people. Pray for our relatives.
Mhm.
Something has to be done. We can't just stop. Like I told him, I won't stop. I'll do it every weekend. I used to do it every 2 weeks, but now I worked it to every weekend. We can't let this be pushed under the mat.
Yeah, you can't push
Yeah.
us under the rug. You know, there's people out there that are cold.
It's like,
You got to be willing to
Yeah.
let yourself, like, have some empathy. You know,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
yourself in their shoes. You know,
That's-
there's a lot of people that, all it takes is they could probably help you in the long run. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
I
Like,
go to-
it's like you got to give people hope out there, not
yeah,
just
yeah.
shut them out and just say, forget about it. It's not going to happen.
I go to meetings and I talk like that. And people there have kids, but they don't bring them to meetings. I say, hey, do you have kids? He says, yeah. How many kids do you have? I have 3 kids. Well, what if I went up and I took them away from you right now and said that I'm gonna have these people take care of them? What would you do? What could you do? If I got social services involved, child apprehension, the police, what could you do? They don't know how that feels to be taken away. They don't know how parents feel to see their kids being taken away. That hurts. I've dealt with many families like that, and I've gotten their kids back for them. And I don't know.
Even SPS, they're just so.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they don't care. Like, just, you know, like some of them do, some of them don't. I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
There's probably like 90% positive, 10% negative, right?
Yep.
And you try to be right. You can be more than that, you know?
Yeah.
Be that 2% that does something better, makes it all good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not that, whatever. I mean, there's just 2% that really are in it, they bring their heart to the table, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
To actually get stuff done.
And they have to know how to do
things
it
to do
the
it.
right way so it doesn't turn people away.
Yeah, and then people don't go there and wreck
Yeah.
the place as they're trying to do stuff also, right?
Yeah.
Because there's like, once we get stuff open, we don't want people, there's one person can ruin it for everybody too, so.
Exactly.
We
I've
gotta
seen that
make
happen
sure we
many
jump the
times.
gun on those people before that even happens. Like,
But a couple times I've seen that happen, but then I didn't call SPS. I went to street justice and say, hey, look at this person is ruining it for everybody here. What happens if I shut this place down?
mm-hmm,
And they look, hey, get out of here.
yeah.
And
then
they chased them
consider
out.
it a chop house.
Yeah, I tried to tell them, but wouldn't listen to me. But as soon as everybody else in the camp said that, the guy person just left like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even at
I
on
can-
Avenue M there,
Yeah.
gangsters went in there. They invited me for chili. I went there. Oh, it was real good chili we were eating. But some gangsters came in there, a couple girls, and they started swearing and just acting real rank in there.
Mm-hmm.
And those people said, no, hey, can you girls please be quiet? Look, we got a bunch of people sitting here, elders and young people, they're all eating chili. You call the cops. And, yeah, no, we're not going to call the cops. One girl stands up. We'll give you 1 minute to be out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Girls just took off running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's street justice out there
For the
too.
volunteers and the staff
Yeah.
that are running the place also.
Mhm. But there's, like you said, there's always one or two people in there that'll ruin it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good when street justice comes out and they take care of it. They don't have to call the police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have enough.
But I wish they had more places. Like in the States, you see fires happening in barrels all over the place, in the back alleys, in the parks. Why can't they have a fire like that? Let people have fires outside if they're controlled, covered. When I have my fires, I have to have an enclosed fire, and that's what I do. Why can't they have other enclosed fires around the city? And they try and make me pay for a permit. That's what they told me the very first time. And I said, I don't think so. This is Treaty 6 territory, and I can have a fire whenever I want. And they looked and they thought about it, and they gave me a permit.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're like helping people.
but they've come up to me.
Keep their fingers
People-
in their toes. Like,
People in the
Hopefully
neighborhood
they-
have complained and dialed 911 on us. And it's to the point now they don't even bother us because they know that I have a permit forever. So I'll always go have a fire there and it's smudge.
Right on, cool.
I'm also trying to challenge all the churches in the city. There's 300 churches in this city.
Wow.
These
Mhm.
Catholic
Always
churches are worth millions and millions of dollars if you see them. The one on Spadina got renovated 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And what did they spend on that? $4.5 million to renovate a church? And it's only used for what, 4 hours a week? Why can't they let people go in and sleep there?
My auntie
Give
bought
them a
church
meal.
for really cheap, actually,
Yeah.
in Viscount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bought a church out there, and
Oh,
they
really?
made it for like people that just want to leave the city and just need to get out, and if they're going through domestic abuse, they can go to her. It's like a church house,
Yeah.
and she built a couple like houses in there. They put a wood stove in, and it's like amphitheater and all that too. It's
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
but
See, they
yeah,
need more
it
stuff
was
like that.
given to her on because of her nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she has. But then she also has a homeless thing going on up there too.
Mm-hmm.
In Viscount. But unfortunately that's not here. So that's over there in the middle of like
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think there's hardly no reserves out there. So
But do people have to have references or anything to get into there? Or they can
I
just
think
go
they
there?
just gotta call her, get a
Call
hold
her.
of Maggie, yeah.
Oh, okay, and make appointments and stuff?
Yeah, Maggie,
Okay.
not even appointment, just show up there, like,
Yeah,
yeah, and
a lot of
she
these
goes
places.
and, she keeps the fire burning all the time in
Yeah.
her wood stove there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
she built the wood stove, like, made it like that, took the heater out, I think, and it's like a whole church.
redesigned it like that.
Yeah,
See, that's what they need to open up more places like that where people can leave town and go feel comfortable, but yet still come back to town. Go get
Mhm.
an education, go learn how to take care of yourself, how to learn how to sew, learn how to be a carpenter, learn how to be a plumber. There's so many things that they could put out there for our people. Like I said last time, I know lots of people that come to the city and they get their education, journeyman plumbers, journeyman electricians, journeyman carpenters. Yeah, and they go out there and they're worth $35, $40, $45 an hour. They're journeymen. And yet their brown skin keeps them from being hired in a lot of these companies. And yet you got the paperwork, you got all the smarts and everything, but your brown skin turns you away from them.
It's like,
So what do you
like
do?
who you know.
So you go fly over there, and you go fly over there, and over there, and you get turned down from all of them. So what do? You hang around on the street, and you get pulled into that, and next thing you're homeless, but it's not from lack of trying. These people all try. How can society open up and help them, help educate them, help them get employment, help them create jobs, help them get help through addictions, through mental health? There's a lot of things that need to be changed out there. And putting the right people out there will help. But I don't know. It's a big question, a big solution, and it's not going to come today or tomorrow or next year. It's going to take a lot of work to put the right people out there to help the people. It's not like Star Trek, where you can say, Scotty, beam up 3,000 people, take them to a planet, they're homeless. I'm a Star Trek, I'm a Trekkie from, yeah. But, you know, because what happens if 3,000 people just disappear like that? What happens? All these places close down because they don't have nobody to run, to take care of anymore. They don't have nobody to feed no more. They don't have nobody to clothe no more. Social service doesn't have no more clients because they're somewhere else. So they lose all their jobs. All these warm-up places, all these Band-Aid solutions, they all lose their jobs. That's all they're working on is Band-Aid money. And that's what hurts me. It has to be real.
If they put all that money together to make one, partial, like one, like a bigger solution rather than these little solutions.
I've told City Hall many solutions about getting tents or teepees or domes, even like big tops. How big those are, how many people could fit underneath one of those big tops at a powwow? 30 people, 40 people. They could put one up in Kimped, one on the east side, 2 or 3 on the east side. That's what I mean. A lot of our people are on 20th Street on the west side. But in the summertime, we went over to the east side and it was just like being on 20th Street. Hi, David. Hi, David. Like, what? Yeah, they journey back and forth.
There's a lot of girls going missing from each
Yeah, yeah. It's really something.
Pretty good, like
The
working
east
on
side needs to open up
the
some
best
too.
ways to do
I've
that.
been over there talking to them, but they just turn their back on me. It's like people don't exist, but they get mad when something happens, like when those 1%ers go in there and make trouble. And then, oh, all these homeless people are bad. All these homeless people are addicts, or they're all drunks. How can we change that? They're homeless for a reason. Maybe there is addictions problems in there, mental health problems in there, but they need help too. Those are the ones that we're losing on the street. The ones that are told to get out of here. What are you doing here? You don't belong here. They get kicked out of hospitals, out of business, or out of malls. What do? They displace you, they don't replace you. That's the thing that I always work on today. I displaced a bunch of people a long time ago when I did a fire and health safety program. And the program was good, but I displaced 80 families. And they came at me, and I realized that next time when I do this, that you have to find some place for them. And that's where the city's failing. They're displacing all these people in tents out on the street. They're not putting them anyplace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And commissioners are kicking you off of every block. Private property. And I'm thinking, well, what? I'm Treaty 6, like somewhere in the line. I knew I was in there. Where the frickers am I going, like freaking like on the side of the sidewalk? And then the cops told me, you know what? There is a place for you right on the side of the bridge. Why don't you just jump? Like we don't like for real. That's what the city police told me. I'm like that's your designated area where you're allowed to be in the city. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's just fucked up, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna go fucking jump off the bridge. That's suicide. Yeah, right. You know, but that
Yeah.
if the cops are telling you that, then like, you know, like,
Yeah.
what are they thinking in their minds? Like they're just thinking 9 to 5. I'm just their meal ticket, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I always say. We're a commodity out there. If we weren't out there, a lot of people wouldn't have jobs.
Correctional workers.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
oh shit, they'd be like a whole time.
But they
Mm.
keep us in
They have
they
nothing
keep
to
us
do.
in one place. Yeah. Sometimes one or two, three of us can scratch our way out and go do something. But then it's like me, a lot of people tell me, why are you doing that? How come you're doing that? They've
Homicidal,
never, those people have
genocidal
never,
homelessness.
yeah, they've never witnessed it. They've never
Genocidal
been out there.
homelessness.
They've never been cold and hungry and have dirty clothes on, and they always have grandmother, grandfather, aunts, uncles, credit cards, bank accounts where they can go to. Where I don't see anybody out there that can have affordable housing or a bank account or a job
Yeah.
because they were booted out of the system.
Or it's just that
Yeah.
can't even get online. Like some of the people
Yeah.
are just so illiterate that they have learning disabilities that
Mhm.
they cannot literally get on a computer to
Yeah.
work it, to send an email. It's that easy. Because
Mhm.
they went back to paperwork, but then how could you? Because in this day and age, you never use paper anymore.
Yeah.
And look at the mail. Like, so that's one of the catch-22s that you end up in,
Yeah.
is one like being out on the streets. Is you just can't make an email, like and sending it out. And where are they supposed to get a hold of you to tell you where you're going to get this
You
place?
don't have a
If
phone
you don't
or
have
nothing.
a phone,
Yeah.
exactly. So like, it's just simple little things as not having a SMS number for them to like send you an email back,
Mhm. Mhm.
And I don't know. They had some kind of strategy at one point there, and then it was only like going on for like a week, and then I never heard nothing of it. So.
Station 20 on 20th Street should turn into a navigation hub. It is that right now,
Yeah, it already is.
but it could be expanded more. or houselessness, homelessness. There are a lot of people that hang around there that go through that place every day. I don't see why they don't open up that place 24/7. That's one of the most utilized places in the city, I would say, for homeless people going through there, staying there, warming up there. Sometimes there's people that come there and they will donate pots of soup. Once a week, there's a committee that goes there and they take soup and sandwiches. I'm working on it for Saturday and Sunday. Everything is open during the weekdays, but Saturday and Sunday, there's only the Friendship Inn that serves a meal. So I'm trying to work out, Smudge On can go out at 2 o'clock on Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday and have a big pot of soup and feed people, feed all these houseless people. And if they need clothes or stuff like that, personal hygiene items, I'm still working on that. That's why on Saturday, on our smudge walk at 12 o'clock, come there. I always say bring a blanket because it's gonna be cold. And then if you have a heart, you'll take that blanket off and you'll go wrap it around a homeless person and say Merry Christmas. Because that's gonna mean lots to them, because a lot of them don't have homes to go to. A lot of them won't get presents. A lot of them are gonna be hungry. So go out and talk to the people. I'll be out there as long as I can on Saturday, but if you want to bring hot chocolate, if you have coats or gloves, mitts, whatever, hats, socks, bring them out. There's a lot of people that need that kind of stuff out there. There's no laundry facilities or anything, so people wear them until they're dirty. Then they need new clothes and they throw their old clothes away because there's no place to wash them. And if you look in some places, there's piles and piles of dirty clothes.
Everywhere, it looks
Yeah.
like people are just stripping their clothes right there.
And they
like-
put on brand new clothes or clothes that they're given.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not even like-
So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So I think if everybody contributes in some way, then, you
Yep.
know, it helps everybody.
Mhm.
We're kind of at the end of our hour. It flew by, but that was David Fineday and Melody Bird talking about houselessness in Saskatoon. And you've been with us at Homelands on 90.5 FM, CFCR, Homelands of the Métis in Saskatoon and Treaty 6 territory. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
hey, smudge on. Right on.
I was hiding